Fans and ready. Oh, dead. I told them what. All right. Good evening, champions. Welcome to a very special webinar. For those of you that we haven't had a chance to meet yet, my name is Efrosini Adamides. I get the pleasure to be your host tonight. And just before we get started, guys, if we can just say a quick comment in the chat of where you're tuning in from, what country you're tuning in from. I want to see the countries that are represented. So we give another 1 or 2 minutes before we get started. Let's see what countries are represented tonight. One. My goodness. So Zimbabwe, Minnesota. I love the countries represented. Some people, Minnesota is a country, I guess. Harare, Zimbabwe, Germany, Spain. Amazing. UK in the house. Zimbabwe, Victoria Falls, Uganda in the house, Mozambique, Iceland. Amazing. Zimbabwe, Netherlands in the house, UK in the house, Uganda, Netherlands, Cyprus. Beautiful. Well, as you can see, guys, it's 242 people and counting. The Zoom is going to max out tonight. That's what I think. Colombia in the house. Zimbabwe, amazing. US, Botswana. Hey, Botswana, welcome. Amazing. US, I love it. All right, guys, so as everybody's coming in on the chat and coming in strong to the webinar, there's multiple languages being translated right now. So if English is not your first language and you need a different language, so we have Hungarian, Imola under Hungarian. We have Jorge for Spanish. We have Helena Low for Portuguese. And we have Romanian under French. So you can literally click on the language. You can choose the language that you understand best. And my recommendation is, if you don't already have something to take notes on, get a piece of paper. In fact, get a notebook, get a pen, because you will literally have so many notes that you will be taking after this call. I know what Muzafer is going to bring to the table. I've had the pleasure of working with Muzafer for the last, my goodness, almost 5 years now that we've been working together. And one thing that I can say is that, firstly, Muzafer is an amazing student, and the best students make the best teachers. I've noticed in the last few years, now bearing in mind that this is a gentleman that has over, well, almost 30 years experience in network marketing. So he's someone that companies pay serious money in order to have flown him out in order to go train for different companies. And not only that, he's made millions and millions and millions of dollars in the industry, has been at the top of the compensation plan, not once, not twice, but multiple times. And you would think that after so much experience, sometimes you get leaders that go, you know what, I know this. But what I notice and I respect a lot about Muzafer is that every single event, no matter how much success he's got, he's one of the first people always to be sitting in the front row, leaning forward with a notepad and a pen, taking notes like crazy. And this is something that I respect, because I respect the people that never feel like they have arrived. I respect the people that always stay in the student mode, because he absorbs so much. More only that, not only that, he just gets so much joy from teaching, from training people, from impacting people. And, you know, whenever we've spoken about the companies that we've been a part of over the last few years, whenever I've mentioned the company, one of the names that gets mentioned the most is Muzafer. He's got such a powerful reputation in the industry. He's got so much respect in the industry. And one of the things that a lot of people say about him, and I've seen this firsthand, he's literally one of the best of the best. But the other thing that I want to highlight, he's a hustler. He doesn't stop working. This guy, I've messaged him 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, always responds, always on the go, always building new teams, always doing and leading by example. He's never once sat back and gone, I have arrived, I'm here. You know, I've been doing this for so many years. No, he's always there leading from the front, flying out to the destinations in order to help the team. And at the same time, you know, personally recruiting, bringing new people, and not just anybody, bringing studs into our company. So I'm excited to bring him up on the virtual stage and hear what he's got to share with us tonight. And all I can tell you is treat this next few minutes that he's going to be talking as if you just invested a few $1,000s to be on this Zoom. That's how you're going to maximize the value. So, my dear Muzafer, welcome to our virtual stage.
Wow. Well, thank you. And thank you for the kind words. You know, she's, Efrosini's right. Like our friendship has grown year after year, month after month, challenge after challenge, success after success. And that's what it takes for a healthy friendship, a healthy partnership, a healthy business relationship. But it starts out when you have an immediate level of respect for each other. And Efrosini's always been that person. She gives respect and she deserves respect. And when I heard about her from Matt Morris, some of you know who Matt is, some of you do not know who Matt is. Matt Morris is one of our leaders. He's a friend of mine. He's somebody that when I first met Efrosini, it was Matt Morris telling me, you don't understand what we have with this young lady. Like, you have no idea. And when he told me about the organization that she had built in the past, and the reason I bring up the past, because sometimes people say, well, the past, you know, like if you look at the game of football, and I'm talking about Efrosini, yes, the real football, the football that the world knows about. But they say that yesterday's goals do not win today's games. However, yesterday's goals teach you experiences on how to win again, on how to win again. And when you take someone like Efrosini that's built a team of 400,000 people, yeah, exactly, Gigi. I saw that one. I can't see everybody's camera, but I heard her say, ouch. 400,000 people, I want you to understand it didn't happen overnight. Efrosini didn't do it in one day. She didn't do it in 1 month. She did not do it in 1 year. And she did not do it because everybody said yes. She did not do it because every day was a happy day. There were challenges, there were tears, there were sacrifices, there were ups and downs. Everybody wants the success and they want to build the business, but they're not willing to go through the work. And the work we're going to talk about today, but I just want to say this, Efrosini, congratulations not only on what you've done in the past, but what you're doing today, because most people would not be able to roll up their sleeves and do it again. And for me to watch you and see what you are doing on a daily basis with the team, and I love hearing the messages from your team and people saying it was brilliant what Efrosini did. It was, and I get to see it at trainings and I love it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for your leadership, for your friendship, and for all the sacrifices that you make, number one. Number two, I want to thank Matt Morris for his vision and his leadership And if you've met him, congratulations. If you have not, get ready. He is so good, like so good. And he's my friend and my business partner. And I'm excited when you get a chance to be on a Zoom with him, or when you get a chance to be at a live event with Matt. Absolutely phenomenal human. And for me, when I look at the leadership that we have, from other business partners that I have, like Jesse McPherson, who I know is coming to Zimbabwe with Efrosini. That event is going to be spectacular. It will be incredible. And we're going to talk about all of this today, but Jesse and Efrosini and Angie and Eric just finished a phenomenal training in Barcelona. And we had special trainers that were there from Jerry Robert, who just did incredible. I saw the video, and this is the level of talent that we're attracting right now. So many of you have talents that we don't know about. So many of you have the ability to teach and help people that we don't know about. And then a lady that's been a mentor to me and like a second mom for me, Sherry Sharman. Some of you got a chance to meet her in Barcelona, and some of you have just heard about her or seen her on a Zoom. Absolutely spectacular, spectacular lady. But I want to tell you that the reason why we're doing this Zoom, and I want to give the credit where the credit goes. The reason why we're doing this Zoom is I got a phone call from Helen, and I'm telling you, this lady is something special. Helen, I appreciate who you are. I'm so proud of you for finishing Diamond. I'm so proud of you for your leadership and everything that you have done. But my dear sister, Helen Mandishona, absolutely amazing, amazing, amazing. And Helen was like, can we do a call? I just want to ask you some questions. And I said, absolutely. Like, if Helen calls, absolutely. And she goes, is it okay if Aaron joins us? I said, what? You're talking about Aaron Zinyan? Are you kidding me? And by the way, if you don't know Aaron Zinyan, you have to say his last name that way. From now on, whenever you see Aaron, you walk up. You can't just call him Aaron. You have to go Aaron Zinyan. You have to say it that way from now on. Forever, he's going to be known as that. If you respect me at all, that's how you're going to approach my dear friend. And I want to say congratulations on finishing 100 squared, my brother. And when I spoke with the two of them, and they started telling me, this started because they wanted to really help a lot of the people that got promoted in Africa. And I know there are people from so many countries. There are people that are on here from multiple countries, and I want to say welcome. I wish I could speak every language. I know Colombia and Spain. Hola, ¿cómo están? Mi familia, bienvenidos. I'm really happy that my Colombian family is here, that my European family, people that speak Hungarian, from the leadership of Gabor to Annabelle in Italy, my dear sister, to Ioana and Octavian, to our leaders that are like Imola and Chongi. I mean, there's so many of you that it's growing, like it's amazing. And I look at the people that are being translated in Romanian. Like I know Bogdan is always helping, and there's so much, right? I want to always thank our translators because they mean a lot to me, like because they give me a voice. So to all the translators, if I've forgotten your name, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just want to say this. When I look at what Helen and Aaron told me, and they said, Aaron Zinyan, just in case you guys forgot. But our new 50/50s, and I'm just going to talk about Africa for a second, because that's why this Zoom was started. was they wanted it originally for their Africa team. And then we opened it to everybody. So thank you for being open to helping the team and being one big team. But, you know, I want to say congratulations, right? Like marvelous for being 50-50, and Nathan and Spiwe, Mushambi, Unity for finishing 50-50, Gladys for finishing 50-50. And I want all of you to think that if they can do it, so can I. That's what I want you to write down right now on your paper. It doesn't matter what country they live in. I can tell you about my friend Peter in Colombia that finished 100. I want you to write down, if he can do it, so can I. You know, when you looked at when Imola and Changi got promoted, I want you to think, if they can do it, so can I. You know, when you look at our new 25 squared from Tapiwa, you know, Mulambo, to Jane Jiho, to Pooms and Tanjo, to Simba the Green, to Helena Lowe, to Give More Munyati, to Chengatai Sitol, to Mandlen Kosi Makwanzai, to Tendani Choni, and to Rebecca Niakazia, right? If I mispronounced your name, I'm sorry. But come on, Aaron, I did pretty good. Pretty good. Come on, Aaron, I did pretty good, right? So I want you guys to realize, and by the way, translators, good luck with saying those names. I'm just saying good luck. It's not easy. Good luck. But I believe in you. But I want all of you to write down, right? Like I see my friend, you know, Maria Livia. I want her to write down, if they can do it, I can do it. I see my friend Mariah in Netherlands. I want her to write down, if they can do it, I can do it. You know, Saloni, if they can do it, I can do it. Harry, write down, if they can do it, I can do it. David, write it down. Josephi, write it down. Like, I want everyone to write it down. If they can do it, I can do it. What we're going to do today is we're going to spend time on a few categories. Today is a day of training that most people don't get, that most people spend years trying to find. And that's why Efrosini told you to take notes. So many of you are doing multiple things, and I'm glad that you're here, right? Like I love that you're at least getting it to go in auditory, like through listening. But if you really want to develop this and build this, find a way to see the information I'm writing, to write down the information I'm writing, to hear the information I'm writing, right? I want you to get all of it, because you will become better. So I want to really stop and talk about, what is it that we're building? You know, when I heard Rebecca's story in Africa, and she receives a pension of $20 per month. That's her pension to live off of. $20. Think about that, Josephi, Harry, for those of us that live in the US, $20 is what she receives pension. And she finished gold, where she's now receiving $500 a month. Is it worth it? Now, for some of you, $500 is not a lot of money. For Rebecca, it's a lot of money. And there are so many people that $500 will change their life. But it comes from work. And you have to think, if Rebecca, that lives in Africa, where the membership is still at its beginning stages, if Rebecca can do it with it's like when you look at a car. Some cars have all the what we call bells and whistles, right? Like they have the air conditioned seats. They got heated seats, air conditioned seats. They got heated steering wheel, air conditioned steering wheel. Some of you guys are like, I didn't know there was such a thing. Oh, there is. Do you know there's some cars that have massage seats? That you push a button and the seat massages you while you're driving. Now, there are other cars that are basic. They don't have any of those things. They don't even have power seating. They don't even have power seating. I want you to understand that, is someone having a challenge hearing me, or can you guys all hear me okay? Everybody can hear me okay. Okay. Sorry, Harry, I saw your comment. But some people, they only have a basic vehicle and they're waiting for the upgrades to come. Africa has a basic vehicle. Colombia has a basic vehicle. Europe, they have a basic vehicle, and it's okay. The United States, we have massage seats. We have heated steering wheel and air-conditioned steering wheel. Like, I'm sorry, USA, I love you. I'm just telling you that my friends around the world are selling a basic vehicle for the same price as you're selling a luxury. Now, how are they doing it? It's because they have belief and vision. And to all of my friends in Africa that are in different countries, this is something that I really want you to understand. To all my European friends that are in different countries, and sometimes you feel like you're by yourself because you think you're all alone in your country and you're the only one. I want you to understand, number one, you have to be very clear about what is it that we're building. What are we really building here? That's something that you have to be clear about. And I want to share this with you. So today, I'm going to explain to you something. Number one, I'm going to go into what we're building. Number two, I'm going to help you with a plan. Number three, I'm going to show you the work behind it. And number four, I'm going to teach you 5 levels of leadership that's going to help you really build your business. Those are the 4 things that I'm going to teach you today. So don't leave before the magic happens today, right? Because I'm going to spend time on all 4. Whatever you have, move it, change it. Because as Efrosini said, I'm very fortunate where company owners will spend a lot of money to get the same information that you're getting right now. My consulting fee, just so everyone knows, is a minimum of $25,000 to consult for a company, and it's a minimum of 3 months for my consulting agreement. If they're not willing to commit to that, my knowledge and information is too valuable for me to give it away for free. So why are you getting it for free? Because you've made a commitment to being my business partner and to being a partner of my partners, which makes us business partners. Information, when people sit there and say, Muzafer, knowledge is power, it's not. Because all the information in the world is still considered ignorance without action. So I can give you this information, but if you don't put it into action, it doesn't matter. That's why Efrosini told you. It's why I'm telling you to have a notepad and pen. This will be one of the best training calls that you have had, and it's going to really impact your business. So let's start with, what are we building? And I'm going to share this with you, right? So what are we building? Hopefully you guys can all see my hand. And when we look at it, there's multiple ways of looking at this. See the simplicity. When people look at this and they go, this is so simple, that this right here. So I tell people all the time that I want to help you build stability. That's my focus. I want everyone on this Zoom to have stability. How I take notes, by the way, Efrosini will tell you, Muzafer is always taking notes. How I take notes is when the trainer would say, I want you to have stability, I would write down in my notes, I'm excited to have stability. And I would just write that for me. That's how I take notes. I would write down stability, and then I would write down, I'm excited for me to have stability. I would write my side notes on the notes. That's how I programmed my brain. Now, residual or residually is how we want you to have this stability, is residually. So that means that every month when you're not working, it's coming in. Now, the simple, this is you. All of you have seen this over and over again. And if you haven't, it's only because you're brand new. This may be your first or second time seeing this, or third time. But I wish you could see how many pieces of paper I have on my desk that I have written the same thing. And I write it over and over again. And some of you will not write it right now because you think you know it. But I have said this more than anyone, and I have written this more than anyone. And right now I'm writing it again. So I hope you write it again. 5-5 is a bronze. It's a bronze. And I'm going to use US dollars, and this is monthly. So I'm going to talk about US dollars monthly. And this is based on people keeping the $99 membership monthly. Recently, I've had a few people, unfortunately, not understand that the membership is monthly. It comes out every single month. This to me is your business. This to me is your overhead. This to me is until you get 6. Now, I'm going to spend time showing you where we're headed, right? So when you look at 5-5, $50 a month, I look at this as a belief check. This is a belief check. When you get to 10-10, which is silver, this is $200 a month. I look at this as a small bill. I don't know what you look at it as. What would $200 a month do for you? $50 a month is a belief check. $200 a month for me, it's a small bill. It's a cell phone bill for me. That's the cost for me. And it's nice that one of my bills is taken care of right there. Gold is $25.25. It's $500 a month. What does that mean for you? For Rebecca, this is a life changer. So she would write life changer right here. Life changer. For other people, it's different. For me, it's one of the car payments. It's just a different life. But you have to sit there and visualize, what does this mean for you? Sapphire. Sapphire is 50-50. This is $1,000 a month. For some people, this is their mortgage. For some people, this is their rent. For some people, like whatever it is, write it down. What is it for you? Here, we're looking at emerald. Emerald is 100. That's 2,000 a month. What is that for you? What is it? Write it down. What is this for you? Okay, then there's diamond. Diamond is 250, which is 5,000 a month. Write down one word. What is that for you? What is it? Next is 500. And this is blue diamond. This is 10,000 a month. What does that mean for you? Don't write down, I hope. Don't write down, that would be nice. Stop writing those things down. Write down one word of what it means to you. A solid word. Happiness, freedom, success, excitement, relief, new life. You can write down 2 words if you need to write down 2 words. But write down what it means. Red diamond. Is 1,000 people 1,000 people? This is 20,000 a month. What does this one mean for you? 2,000, 2,000 is $36,000 a month. I want you to write down a different word, please. If you write down freedom at 5,000, write down a different word at 10,000. Write down a different word at 20. Write down a different word at 36,000 a month. This is $432,000 a year for Purple Diamond. 5,000, 5,000. This is 85,000 a month. What's the word? This is Black Diamond. Okay, now, this is something that's so important. If you write down something like dream, don't leave it at dream. Write down my dream came true. You have to change it into something that is just out there. Listen to me. We can pick any of these. Let's pick, everybody in this Zoom is at a different place right now. But I want you to really stop and think. And I'm going to go to Diamond. I'm going to go to Diamond. Diamond is $5,000 a month. Okay, that's where Diamond is. And I'm going to give you an example of if in January 2026, okay, December 2025, you finished Diamond. Congratulations. Okay. January 2026, $5,000 goes into your account. Into where? I don't know. Your bank. Like mine would be Wells Fargo. What is your bank? Whatever it is. No one's going to see it. It's your notes. 5,000 into. And then my bills, right? If this is, I don't know what your bills are, right? Whatever your bills are. My bills, let's just say, for example, your bills are $3,000. Okay? So what's left over is $2,000 extra. In February, you maintain Diamond. There's 5,000. Now you have a total of 7,000 in your bank. For me, it's Wells Fargo minus 3,000. That leaves 4,000 in my bank. And if I just do this, same thing. In March, I will have 6,000 in my bank. In April, I will have 8,000 in my bank. In May, 10,000. In June, 12,000. In July, 14,000. In August, I get promoted. I get promoted to Blue Diamond in August. And now I add 10,000. So now my bank has 24,000 and my bills are 3,000. So now I have 21,000. So that means that in September, if everything is the same, I'm adding 7,000 because 10 minus 3. So in September, I'm at 28,000. In October, I am at 35,000. In November, I am at 42,000. And in December, I am at $49,000 in my account. This is 2026. I sit back and I think about what are we really building? Right? I'll show you how to do this. Like, but forget that for a second. Forget the hows and look at what are we really building? You know, when I think about my Africa friends, right? Some of you live in Zimbabwe and you live in a small town of Chivu. And I hope I said that right. You live in a small town of Chivu, but the capital city is Harare. And if you could just move out of Chivu into Harare, in Zambia, some of you guys live in Ndola. And if you could just move to Lusaka. In Mozambique, some of you guys live in Beira. And if you guys could just move to Maputo. In Uganda, some of you guys live in Soroti. But if you could move to Kampala, life would be different. In Kenya, some of you guys live in Nyeri. But if you could move to Nairobi, life is different. The same thing for those of you that are in the UK or in Italy or in Romania or in Hungary. I want you to start thinking about what is going to change your life. Because what happens right now is most of us, and to my friends in the United States, it's different. It's different for you. You're not looking at poverty all around you. For most of you in the US and Europe, you may not be looking at poverty everywhere like Colombia and the continent of Africa is. Some of you, maybe you live in a bad neighborhood. Some of you, like for me, I grew up in very low income. And I really want you to understand that for me, everywhere around me, people were not making money. I had what was called an external fire around me, which helped me build an internal fire. Today, my daughters, they live in this unbelievable neighborhood, in this amazing house with amazing life. They don't have an external fire. So what I have to do is I have to teach them to build an internal fire. I don't know what your life is like, but I need you to start picturing this. I need you to start having vision of where we're going. What are we really building? When somebody sits there and says pyramid or multi-level, do you understand that for me, it's insulting? Because this is my baby. This is my business. This is something where when a lady is emotional, like Rebecca, and says, I was earning $20 pension and Viago changed my life because she's earning $500. How dare somebody make my business little or less? We change lives. Because you're on this Zoom, I want you to understand, my family, that there are people that are going to wake up in the morning with tears in their eyes, thanking God for you because you said yes. Because you said yes. Because Efrosini said yes to Matt Morris. Because Matt said yes to us. Efrosini said yes to Matt. Because Efrosini said yes. It led us to someone that led us to Helen. And she said yes. Because Helen said yes, Zinyanyan said yes. And because Aaron said yes, look at how many lives have changed. because you say yes, thousands of lives are going to change. I want you to understand, Viago, please get this into your brain. Viago, by 2030, will have 10 million members. 10 million members. Viago, the company, will have 10 million members. Do you know how many people will be 5'5", 10'10", 25-25, 50-50, 100-100? Do you know how many black diamonds we will have in the next 5 years? See, the difficulty is for most people to see 5 years. Why? Because every day people go through life, and life has struggles. The most hardest thing for us to do is to see without sight, is to be able to see without sight. It's clear. It's clear when you go to an event. But when you go back home to friends and family, and think about this, 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, that's 168 hours per week. Let me ask you a question, my family. 168 hours. Where is most of your time spent? Well, 8 hours for sleep. 8 times 7 equals 56. So if you minus 56 for sleep, that leaves you 112 hours remaining. And if people work 40 hours at a job, what does that leave you? Think about this for a second, right? That leaves you 72 hours left. But you have to eat. You have to go to the bathroom. You have to drive places. The question is, how many hours are you in and around Viago? How many hours are you in and around Viago? That's the question. And listen, for right now, I love all of the emojis. Send as many emojis as you guys can. But do me a favor. Don't comment right now. Don't read the comments. There's no reason for anybody to chat. All I want you to do is take notes right now. I want you to focus. Send as much emojis, but focus on your notes and listening to this information. How many hours are you in and around Viago? That's the question. Because the more you're around everything else, your vision when you go to training starts here. When you go home, your vision goes to here. After 1 week, your vision goes to here. When you're not on Zooms and talking to your upline, your vision goes to here. Can you guys see it? Over time, your vision goes to here. And some of you guys are like, I can't read that. Think about it. You can't read it on my piece of paper. Imagine in your brain when it is no longer there, when it is at some point it goes to that. And it's usually right around here, people start to quit. Viago is working, and it's working amazing. And we're still at the beginning. But where we're headed is to 10 million members. This is going to happen with or without us. It's better that it happens with us. But this is going to happen. This will happen. I'm telling you right now, it's done. It's already written. It's there. This is going to happen. Same thing. Thank you, though. Listen real carefully to me. 10 million. It's going to happen. Now, what do you have to do? You have to write down your vision, your why, and your goals. This is the hardest part for most people, is to write it down. Once you write it down, you need to share it with your upline. If your upline, who might be your friend, is no longer doing the business, share it with the person above them. But you have to share it with more than just yourself. That's what's going to make it real, is when you share it and somebody's with you. Now, having vision, having a goal, having a why without a plan is just a wish. We need a plan. We need a plan in place. If you really, listen, family, if you really want to move from Soroti to Kampala, if you really want to move from Chivu to Harare, if you really want to move zip codes, if you really want to move, I wanted my mom, my mother, to live in a neighborhood where she could leave her doors unlocked. I wanted her to live in a place where she could leave her doors unlocked, into a safe neighborhood, into a nice neighborhood. I had to make sacrifices. Everybody can finish this, but then you've got to put together a plan. And when you put together a plan, you have to write down, because I'm going to give you an action plan. An action plan. But you have to be willing to also write down, what am I willing to give up? What am I willing to give up? That's the question for all of you. See, this is all nice. These numbers are beautiful. The bigger the numbers, the more beautiful it is. These are amazing. What are you willing to give up to achieve it? You know, my My daughter got a B on a test, and she was sad because she wanted an A. And I told her, I said, listen, I said, just because you get A's in other classes, that doesn't mean that the same work is going to get you an A in this class that you received a B in. I said, you have to do something different. Obviously, the work that you were doing in the other class, that same work got you a B in this class. The same work. Some of you at your job, you have an A, but that work is not going to get you an A in Viago. To go from good to great is not easy. It takes different work. It's different work, everyone. Please don't kid yourself and think that it's the same, just a little bit more. No, it's not. It is extra, I promise you. So we've got to put a plan in place. All right. So let's put a plan in place now. Let's do this today. Let's put our plan in place. What's the work? What is the work in order for this to happen? The work. Okay. The work, ladies and gentlemen, to me is centered around events. The work is centered around events. Some of you schedule Viago around your life. Me, I schedule my life around Viago. And people go, whoa, wait a minute. Why this, that? Because for me, this business will give freedom, legacy, residual to my daughters. It's worth the sacrifice for me. That's my sacrifice. I don't know what you really want. I don't know. So I literally, everything is centered around the Viago events. For me, do you guys know the next upcoming events? I do, right? The next one is Madison in America, Wisconsin, on November 1st. This is a regional training. Then we've got Zimbabwe. This one here is with Sherry and Roscoe. And it's going to be streamed for people that can't be there in person. My mentality is, if this is me, if I cannot be somewhere in person, here's now again, I'm only teaching you how I think. There are musts and there are shoulds. A must will always get done. A should sometimes gets done. I'll give you an example. When it comes to breathing, is it a should or a must? Breathing. It's a must. When it comes to eating, is it a should or a must? Eating is a must. For some people, going to the gym is a must. For some people, going to the gym is a should. For some people, going to church is a must. It always gets done. For some people, going to a church or a temple or a mosque or a synagogue is a should. For everyone, it's different. These two things are definitely musts. The question is, what is Viago for you? Is Viago a should or is it a must? Training for me is a must. Now I'm going to tell you something else that's a must. If I cannot be somewhere physically then it's a must. I have someone on my left team and someone on my right team that is physically there in Madison. That's how I think. Now, some of you are so brand new, you have not started a team in the United States yet. That's okay. We have plenty of time. We're going to help you build a team in the United States. You need to start thinking, is having a team in the United States, is it a must or a should? I need it to be a must for you. Having a team in the continent of Africa should be a must. Having a team in Europe should be a must. Having a team in Asia should be a must. This is how you have to think. Then when we have a training in the United States, if you cannot physically be there, then your goal is to have someone on your left team and on your right team in Madison. Now, if you cannot physically get someone there, then at least get them to watch the stream. But you have to, all of you have to start participating in the events. The next one is Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is on November 8th and 9th with Jesse McPherson and Efrosini. And Efrosini and Jesse are going to do an absolute amazing job in Zimbabwe. Now, I'm telling all of Africa, that you need to be in Zimbabwe on November 8th and 9th. Make it a must and not a should. But then you have to think to yourself, so let me go back to Madison, Wisconsin, which is the United States, or Zimbabwe. And I need you to remember the work is centered around events. So how many people on your team are going to be at the Madison event? The Madison event. How many? Muzafer, I'm going to have 2 at the Madison event. Okay, Zimbabwe. And remember, this can be stream or it can be live. Madison, 2. Zimbabwe, 4. If you're in Africa, there's absolutely no reason in my brain that you don't have 4 people in Zimbabwe. Some of you are focused on 10. Some of you are focused on 20 for Africa, for Zimbabwe. And in the United States, some of you are focused on 10. Some of you are focused on 20. What comes after that? After that is going to come Cabo, which is an escape and training together. This is an escape and a training together. And this is December 4th through the 7th. What comes after that? After that is the big event in Phoenix. This is the big event in Phoenix, Arizona. This is our big event for North America. This is the one where everybody, to me, your focus should start at 10. Some of you 20, some of you 30, some of you 50, depending on where your business is at. That's Phoenix. This is really for North America. The next big event, and this one is Grande in Spanish because it is in Colombia. Okay, this one is going to be in Cali, Colombia. And this event, just so you guys know, some of you guys don't have a team yet in Cali. But this event is going to be on the 24th. So this is January 17 and 18. This is January 24, 25. January 24, 25 for Colombia. The next, we got 3 big events in a row. Big event is going to be Dubai. This one is probably going to be the biggest event we have done for Europe, for Africa, for everyone. So please listen to this. This is going to happen February 7th and 8th. That's the event. There's going to be an escape that is absolutely brilliant that is happening on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. And you check out on the 7th and you go into the training. Some of you guys know Jesse McPherson. Jesse, on his way back from Barcelona to Philippines, stopped in Dubai, and he went and saw the hotel for the escape. And he messaged me jumping up and down going, oh my God, this hotel is absolutely amazing. He sent me pictures and I said, Jesse, I know. And he goes, I know you know, but I'm here. I said, I know, Jesse, like I understand. This will sell out. This escape, it will sell out. And what's going to happen is some of you are going to be upset and you're going to be mad and you're going to call and you're going to say, I need to get in. Somebody needs to get me one. Can somebody sell me the escape? This is that, number one. Number two is the training will sell out. This is going to be at a different hotel. This is the Sofitel Hotel. This is going to be the Millennium Hotel. Absolutely. This one's close to the airport, so it's going to be easy for people to fly in, go to the training, and fly out because it's right next to the airport. So for those of you that cannot make the escape, it's going to be so simple for you to come to Dubai and go to this training. Now, I'm telling all of you something. If you are in Africa, your focus should be 10 people at the Dubai training. That's if somebody has nobody at Zimbabwe. If you have 2 people at Zimbabwe, you should have 20 people in Dubai. If you have 10 people in Zimbabwe, you should have 50 people in Dubai on your team. That's how this business works. If you have 20 people at Zimbabwe, you should have 100 people in Dubai. Now, USA, I'm telling you something right now. Everyone's coming to Phoenix. There's a lot of people from the USA that are coming to this escape. Don't be silly. Stay for the training, my USA family. Stay for the training. Don't fly all the way to Dubai and not come for the training. That's crazy. But this is the game plan of what we have to do. Now the question becomes, how do we make these numbers happen? Well, you have vision. You've written down, right? Your vision, you've written it down. We've talked about keeping the vision strong. You're going to share it with your upline. The plan I just gave you is centered around events. That's the plan. That's the work. The plan. Everything is centered around the events. Why? The events are the glue. They're the glue to this business, the glue. If you don't build your business with events, it will not stick. It's the glue. Now, as we look at the final piece of this, which I saved the best for last, because I'm going to give you 5 levels of leadership. But before I do, the work. The work is always increasing your list. Increase my list every week. This is the work. Increase. I don't care if you increase by 1, but increase. Increase the list every week. Next, you have to invite and set appointments. You have to. Every week. This is the work right here. In Spanish, it's trabajo. Trabajo. I don't know all the languages. I don't. I should know Swahili. I should know the word in Swahili because my family speaks Swahili in the house. I know indizi means banana. That's what I know. Indizi means banana. I know namnagani. I know mazuri, jambo. I know some other words that I will not say on this Zoom. But so I'm learning more and more. Perfect. Kiswahili. There you go. All right. So invite, set appointments every week. This is the work. Everybody goes, just tell me exactly what I have to do. And then present. Okay, you ready? Here's your numbers. 4 to 5 presentations a week. That's 16 to 20 presentations a month. Maybe you've seen me do this before. For 24 consecutive months. Keyword consecutive. You can have a bad week, but you can't have a bad month. If you miss a week, I'm okay. Maybe you went on vacation with your family, no problem. But finish the month. This you make a must. And this you make a must. This one is okay if it's a should. But 16 to 20 is a must. 24 consecutive is a must. For your vision. For your why. For what you want. For your life to change. This is a must. And I need you to partner with 1 or 2 or 3 people and hold yourself accountable. For the last 24 months, me and a group of my friends have been accountable to each other every day for doing 200 push-ups a day, 150 sit-ups a day. And if we missed, we owed each other $50. Okay, think, if there's 5 people in the group and I miss, I owe 4 people $50. That's $200 a day. Are you crazy? I'm not paying that. There's something about commitment. Most of you will commit more to someone else than you will yourself. And when someone else is putting in the text message group, I finished mine. What if you got a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you together? And every week you texted each other, said, I finished my 4 to 5. I finished 7 this week. How many did you finish? And Zinyanya, how much did you finish? How much did you finish, Harry? How many did you finish, Efrosini? How many did you finish, Saloni? How many did you finish, Gigi? How many did you finish, Mariah? How many, if you were in a group and you texted each other accountability, I finished mine. And you did this for 24 consecutive months, your life will never be the same. I promise. And then close and follow up. This is all the work. Now, closing is asking people to start. So many of you are scared to do this. Get someone to help you. When it comes to presentations, I did a call for the Japan team and I was teaching them how to present. I literally gave them my language on how I present this opportunity. I did a Zoom and I gave them the 7 steps. Look, this is me writing in Japanese, by the way. In Toro, that's Japanese. Kaisha, that's Japanese. Sabisu. And I'm not trying to impress you with, I don't speak Japanese. I use Google Translate and then I copy Google Translate. I'm not that smart, just so you know. I don't speak Japanese. But I'm a very good, I can copy things. And they were so excited that I was writing in their language. But I taught them how to present because they were like, can we learn your language for presenting, your transitions, how you describe this? I said, absolutely. So I did a Zoom teaching them how I present. You have to practice presentations. Make this a must. Make this a must. This is the work. Okay, I told you I was going to end with leadership. So I want to spend some time with you because there's 5 levels of leadership that I want to spend time with you on. Because if you really want to build this team that we talked about, this right here, you know what this is? This is a volunteer army. This is a volunteer army. So how do you build a volunteer army? You have to develop your leadership. You have to learn how to lead. And there's a book that's one of my favorite books on leadership written by John Maxwell. So I can't take credit for this. I learned from so many people by reading and watching and being a student, because I'm a student of this book, The 5 Levels of Leadership. I'm not trying to be the smart one. I'm trying to be the messenger. So I'm bringing you information that I learned. Now, this business really starts to happen right around the 2nd or 3rd level of leadership. So the first level of leadership, just so you know, is position. This is the first level of leadership. People follow people that have a position. This is normally employees. They follow their boss because somebody has a position and they have to follow this person that has a position. In our business, that's not the case. The next level of leadership, just so you know, the next level of leadership is permission. Now, permission is people follow you because they want to. Because they want to. At the beginning of your Viago business, that really doesn't apply. Most people won't follow you yet just because of a want. This is mostly in a job situation. In a job situation, employees follow someone because of title, and then later, when that person has built trust and respect, then employees go, okay, I want to follow that person. For us, things start to happen here. You will start to become a leader when you have production. Production, my friends. So let's talk about production. This is so important. To have change in an organization, it's always leadership. It's a leadership situation. It takes a leader to create positive change. And the best way is like when you're building a relationship and you find common ground. Any leader that wants to change anything or anyone, it comes when you start to have a common ground in a few different areas. But a lot of it is based off of results, your production. Okay, so let me tell you a few things. The first thing is you're trying to produce, which this is you, and you're making a list and you're setting appointments and you're presenting. And even if you're not the one presenting, but you have an expert presenting, but you're on the presentation and you're closing, right? And you're signing people up like this. When you're signing people up, your expert is helping you here. What you are doing is you are building the relationship. You are building the R as you are creating production. You are building the relationship as you're creating the production. And I'm going to tell you 5 things that will help you build the relationship. Ready? To build the relationship, 5 things. Number 1 is vision. We talked about it earlier today. When your vision is similar, that's when people stand together. Number 1, I need all of you to have a vision of 10 million people in Viago in 2030. Let's all stand together on that vision. But when you're building your team, you need to have a vision where you and your people all finish Club 6. You want to have that done together. Have a vision that your membership is free, my membership is free. Then have a vision that you want to get to gold together. See, bronze and silver are nice, but things start to happen at gold when people are receiving $500 a month, every month. So envision Club 6, gold, sapphire, emerald, and diamond. Start having the same vision of when this is going to happen. Make sure that your people's vision and your vision is similar or the same and that it's clear. And everyone has a strong desire for it to come true. Your vision needs to be where you guys have this desire for it to come true. There has to be a desire for both of you to be Club 6, for both of you to be gold, sapphire, emerald, diamond. There has to be that alignment. It's number 1. Number 2 is values. It's difficult to travel with others for a long time if your values don't align. I love that a lot of us have similar values. Number 3, relationship. Great teams have people who are committed to one another's vision. So you build the relationship. Remember, I said, write down your vision, your goal, your why, and give it to somebody. And when you do, and you have that partner, and you say, I'm committed to you, you're committed to me, and you're sharing this relationship, this common ground. Number 4 is attitude. If you're going to get people to work together for positive change, their attitudes need to be positive and tenacious. Your people will be positive if you're positive. Your people will be tenacious if you're tenacious. Your people will fight if you fight. Your people will get on Zooms if you get on Zooms. Your people will take notes if you take notes. Your people will do because of you, but it starts with attitude. So we got vision, we got values, we got relationship, we got attitude, and we got communication. Communication must be open, it must be honest, and it must be ongoing. Open, honest, and ongoing. When people are in the dark, they start making up their own stories. And a lot of times they assume things that are wrong. Make sure everybody's on the same page. What we do is we create threads on WhatsApp and we communicate with each other. This is the key to building relationships as your experts helping to motivate your team. Now, number 4 level of leadership is people development. This is where we spend our time at trainings. That's why you want to make sure you take your people to trainings, events. They will forever be grateful and connected to you because you help them get developed. And the top level is the pinnacle. And people will follow you because of who you are and what you represent. Because of who you are and what you represent. And I believe all of you will get there. I've honored my commitment to you today, my friends, my family, where we told you that we would talk about what we are building, your vision, your future, your why. Having a vision and goals without a plan is just a wish. Write it down. Write down what you're willing to give up. The work, which is centered around events, the plan, it's centered around events. And then I gave you the work and then the 5 levels of leadership. And when you're spending time on vision, make sure that your vision between you and your team is aligned. Listen, everyone, I'm so proud of all of you that are here. I hope today added value to your life. I hope these are things that you look at and you go, gosh, literally, this is a whole plan to build a multi-million-dollar business wrapped up in a Zoom. It's all here for you. It's all here for you. I was so excited for this Zoom that I took my notes. I wrote down my bullet points on what I wanted to cover. Because your future is so important to all of us. And I'm excited to see all of you at the upcoming, I will be at all 3 big events. I will be at the Phoenix big event. I will be at the Columbia big event. And I will be at the Dubai big event. Wow. Now that I think about it, that's a back-to-back-to-back. That's kind of crazy. That is January 15th, 16th, 17th. 18th. I think the very next day on Monday, I fly to Colombia and I do meetings, and then I do the big event in Colombia. I come home from Colombia. I'm home for 4 days, and then I jump on a plane and go to Dubai. So I really hope that you come up to me at one of the big events and you say, Muzafer, I'm excited. I have a team of 2 people here. I have a team of 5. I have a team of 10. I want all of you to have a team. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you are there by yourself, I will be proud of you because you're there. There's a difference. Don't ever get it confused. I will always be proud of you for being there. I'm going to be excited for you in your future when you have a team with you. We are going to build something that no one can take away from you. You're going to have a residual. You're going to move into a new neighborhood. Your dreams will come true. This will happen for you. You have to start now. Keep your vision strong. Efrosini, Helen, Aaron Zinyanya, thank you for inviting me to do this. Thank you for allowing us to open it to beyond Africa, to all of Europe and Colombia and the United States and Canada. And thank you for allowing us to bless all of it. I appreciate all of you. Efrosini, thank you for hosting and everything that you said at the beginning. And I hope that I completed some of the things that you wanted as well. And I will turn it over to you, my friend, to help wrap us up and take us home.
Nothing from my side, Muzafer. As always, you have over-delivered. And all I can say is that if people just take 20% of what you said tonight and apply it, in the next 3 months, we're going to be breaking all the records. So thank you for taking the time, Muzafer, to pour into the team. Champions, have an amazing night. Take your notes, make it count. See you at the next event.